Hello, Echidna and Chaos Emeralds. My name is TB Skyen, and the entire internet has already been busy today dunking on the Sonic the Movie trailer because Sonic looks like this in it. Because this is horrifying and wrong and a crime against nature, and nothing is more funny than spending time on Twitter dunking on that kind of silliness. So I thought, in order to make an interesting video about this particular movie trailer, let's talk about why this looks so wrong and why this looks so bad. And let's talk about why the filmmakers might have done it the way that they did, despite the, to everybody else, rather obvious horror of what they have created. So my working theory, based on watching the trailer, is that Sonic's physical acting in this movie is motion captured. And there's a couple of reasons why I think so. First of all, because motion capture is, like, pretty freaking common in the movie industry nowadays. It's a really common way to have a character that you need to have CGI'd into a film and emote properly is to motion capture them and do it that way. The second reason why is because, well, specifically because of these shots right here. Take a look at the body of Sonic in this particular shot. He's got human calves. He's got human thighs, he's got human arms and human hands, he's got human proportions, he's got human anatomy. The only things that have really been altered about him is that the hands are a little bit larger, and the feet are a little bit larger, and the head is very much larger. But besides that, this is the body of a perfectly ordinary grown-ass human man. This doesn't look like the body of a hedgehog with human characteristics. It looks like a human body in a hedgehog fursuit, a blue hedgehog fursuit. And so that, alongside the very grounded, realistic sense of weight and the mechanics of just how he moves in the scenes that we see him in, leads me to suspect that this character has been motion captured with a human actor, and that in the process of cleaning up the animation data that was captured from that motion capture, the animators decided to keep his anatomy pretty much consistent with a human male, so that they would take as little work as possible to transfer the motions of the human actor into the behavior of the CGI character. Now, I can't prove this. I don't have any direct evidence that this is so, but based on the way the character moves and based on the mouth that he's got going on, I think that's what happened, because I think they didn't just motion capture his body, I think they motion captured a face performance for the actor as well. I think they captured that on footage, and then they transplanted it onto the character model to be used to emote the character. And I think that's why they went with this thing, this terrifying mouth. Now, when you stylize a character and when you anthropomorphize a character, you're making a certain set of anthropomorphization, by the way. If you look at the Beauty and the Beast and the Lumiere and Cogsworth and all the servants in the castle who are like, they're candelabras and they're clocks and they're closets and they are like teapots and stuff like that, but they have human characteristics and they move in human ways and they behave in human ways. That is anthropomorphization. You take an object that isn't human and add human characteristics to it. The same thing goes for, this is what furries do when they design their characters, is they take an animal and they anthropomorphize it to some degree or another. So some furries will be highly anthropomorphic, that is to say, they will have like a human hands instead of paws. They will have they will wear shoes and clothes, and they will sort of like mostly be human characters with animal heads on them. Other furry characters will be much more animalistic, like they might have animal hind legs, or they might have hooves instead of like feet, or they might not be wearing clothes and just be relying on their fur instead. Stuff like that. They are different degrees of anthropomorphization. And that's the core of the issue here, is that they have chosen the wrong degree of anthropomorphization for Sonic. They have taken the human characteristic of the human construction of a mouth and slapped it onto a skull that isn't actually able to support it. And that's the reason why it looks so wrong and so uncanny, is because the lip shape and the jaw shape and the teeth shape that is being projected onto this 3D character doesn't actually match the shape of the character's actual head. In order to have teeth that are aligned like this, in order to have a mouth that moves like this, you need to have human facial muscles. You need to have human skin. You need to have a human skull. But Sonic clearly doesn't have that. He has an elongated snout. You can see that very clearly in the shots where, like here when he's looking up. He's got an elongated snout, not a human face. He doesn't have a human face. He's got, like, these giant eyes that are placed much lower in the head than they would be for a human. And so that's why this thing doesn't really work. It's because it's mixing two anatomical features that just simply do not go together. And that's why this looks so horrifyingly, terrifyingly, awfully wrong. It's because our brains recognize that, hang on, that doesn't make any physical sense. That is a human feature, but this is not a human character. This is an anthropomorphized character. And the disconnect between that, like, the disconnect between that reality and that stylization is the uncanny valley. It's why it's so uncomfortable to look at this. And one of my friends is an illustrator called Canestra, who uploaded a couple of drawings basically outlining this. This is essentially what has happened. You have this cute cartoon, right? This stylized cartoon, not anatomically accurate, but it contains all the features of a character. What the Hollywood movie aesthetic does is it says, okay, we need this character to look real. We need this character to look like they really truly exist in a physical space alongside our actors, so let's slap a bunch of textures on it. Let's slap a bunch of light effects on it. Let's slap a bunch of like fur effects on it, and basically just make the thing look more textured and weighty and look like it has more volume. But at the same time, because they're not actually breaking the stylization in a way that makes sense, you get this thing that looks like a horrifying abomination when it shouldn't. And Canestra, by the way, there's a link to Canestra's Twitter account down in the description. I recommend you go and follow her because she's a goddamn talented artist. Like, I was considering trying to do a manipulation like this myself to kind of show off the difference, but she's so much fucking better than me that I'm just gonna borrow the thing that she did, because here she demonstrates beautifully how easy it would have been to fix this. You see the differences, right? It's the shape of the mouth and the shape of the teeth. It's because this mouth implies a human skull. It implies human skin. It implies human facial muscles. That's why it looks so wrong and uncanny. This mouth implies that there is a snout. You can see how the top of the mouth is kind of pulled a little bit ahead by the fact that the snout is there and it's kind of jutting out in front of the character, which pulls the top of the mouth forward, which creates that trapezoid shape with the lower jaw as well. He's got these animalistic teeth instead, which again doesn't imply that he has the same kind of semicircular jaw that a human being would have. And it's just those two little things go such a long way towards fixing this mess. It's simply a matter of stylizing the character correctly, of anthropomorphizing the character correctly, to choose the correct features to port over from a human and leaving the other ones behind. Like the mouth, for instance. Good lord. And that's really what's at the core of the issue with Sonic the Hedgehog. That's why he's uncanny. That's why he looks so wrong. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the comment button, and put a comment down below, and hit the bell icon and all the other YouTube things, because, you know, that's the thing that you do in order to make YouTubers be able to have jobs. If you'd like to support the channel directly, well, I do have a Patreon, but Canestra also has a Patreon. I'm going to link to that one down below. If you like her drawings, if you liked the manipulations that you saw in this video, consider giving her, you know, $1's worth of support, because she could really use it, and she's an amazingly talented artist whose work you should really be following. If you don't want to sign up for a recurring subscription, I also have a tip jar down below where you can say, hey, you made a video talking about why Sonic is a horrifying abomination that should not exist in nature. Have $1 for that, and I would be very grateful to receive it. The fact of the matter is that when it comes to online content creation, $1 can be the same as like thousands of views on a video or tens of thousands of views on a web page. And so that direct support, like, it matters a lot more than you think. Even if it seems like only a little bit, it matters a lot more than you think. So if you have a content creator online that you like, whether it's me or someone else, please consider supporting them directly if you can. If you haven't enjoyed this video, well, there's a dislike button down below, and you can hit that dislike button so hard to punish it for forcing you to look at Sonic's horrible, horrible face for as long as you had to over the course of this video. Just punch that dislike button in the face like a boss. Is that copyright infringement? I don't know.